Freeport LNG designed, built, and has operated since 2008 an LNG receiving and regasification terminal on Quintana Island near Freeport, Texas. Several unique features of the terminal stand out among other U.S. LNG facilities. High-performing vacuum-insulated LNG transfer lines, an environmentally friendly VE air tower that provides heat from the air rather than from gas combustion for regasification, an underground salt dome gas storage facility that is integrated with terminal operations for flexibility, and a boil-off gas reliquefaction system that makes it possible to keep LNG in the tanks for longer periods. The terminal site's location is highly advantageous. It is 6 miles from open water off a 45-foot deep ship channel, which takes under an hour for an LNG tanker to navigate. This approach is the shortest of any LNG terminal in North America. In 2005, when construction of the regasification terminal started, forecasts envisioned a major increase in U.S. LNG imports. But since June 2008, when the terminal entered commercial operations, the North American natural gas industry has been fundamentally transformed. With that transformation also came the decision to launch the Freeport LNG liquefaction project.
We've had a revolutionary change here in the United States energy market with the advent of shale gas and shale liquids through American ingenuity. We now have gone from a situation where we were short natural gas to a situation where we have over 100-year supply. So it makes sense to use this American resource and produce the natural gas, create jobs, and send the gas to countries that really need it. We have the opportunity to potentially be energy independent in our lifetimes, but to get the liquids out, we must produce the natural gas, and you must have enough natural gas demand to sell the product. And exports allows us to do that so that we can get to the liquids and hopefully become energy independent.
When fully built, Freeport LNG's liquefaction project will provide a total export capacity of some 13.2 million metric tons per year. This will require approximately 2 billion cubic feet of feed gas per day, which will be delivered from interconnecting pipeline systems into Freeport LNG's existing Stratton Ridge meter station.
Being located in one of the richest gas regions in the world really makes Freeport LNG its location one of its premier advantages. So the infrastructure that's already in place in the Gulf Coast region allows the Freeport LNG project to be developed in an efficient way without a lot of investment in the upstream supply aspects for the project.
The next destination for the natural gas after Stratton Ridge will be the project's pretreatment facilities, located approximately 2.5 miles from the terminal.
These facilities are going to pre-treat the gas before it can be liquefied, and those will include technical aspects like amine systems for removal of carbon dioxide and other impurities in the gas. We also are going to have a natural gas liquids cryogenic gas plant to recover natural gas liquids. And we're also going to have a power turbine where we're going to generate on the order of 80 megawatts of power for our own consumption, as well as to use the waste heat in our process.
The processed gas will then be compressed and delivered to the Quintana Island terminal through Freeport LNG's existing 42-inch pipeline. At the terminal, 3 liquefaction trains will use a propane pre-cooled mixed refrigerant process from air products and chemicals to liquefy the gas. Condensation of the processed natural gas into LNG requires significant refrigeration from, first, a propane loop, and then a mixed refrigerant loop comprised of ethylene and other light hydrocarbons. After pre-cooling, the feed gas is sent to the main cryogenic heat exchanger, where it is further cooled inside the tube bundle. As the feed gas flows up the tubes, it starts condensing by transferring heat to the mixed refrigerant, which warms up and vaporizes as it flows down the outside of the tubes. The heated mixed refrigerant is compressed, chilled, and depressurized to be admitted to the main cryogenic heat exchanger to provide cooling for the condensing of gas into liquid. The high-pressure LNG exiting the main cryogenic exchanger is depressurized through a liquid expander and delivered to the full containment LNG storage tanks at approximately minus 260 degrees Fahrenheit and near ambient pressure. The LNG can then be pumped from the tanks for loading on marine tankers for export.
The liquefaction project provides Freeport LNG a unique opportunity to both expand and diversify our business so that we can address commercial markets no matter what kind of situation we're in as a country.
Also constructed at the terminal site will be a second LNG tanker marine berth and LNG transfer lines, and a third LNG storage tank.
Well, the export project is a step change bigger than our regas facility. The cost and the revenues are expected to be more than 10 times what it costs to build the regas facility and the current revenues of the regas facility. On Train 1, Osaka Gas and Chubu Electric are our two customers. They are the second and fourth largest utilities in Japan. They import approximately 25% of the LNG imported into Japan, which, by the way, is the largest user of LNG in the world. For Train 2, we have BP Energy, one of the largest integrated energy companies in the entire world and one of the leaders in LNG. The Train 3 customers are Toshiba Corporation, one of the largest and most innovative global high-technology companies, and SK E&S, an affiliate of SK Group, one of South Korea's top 3 industrial conglomerates and the country's leading comprehensive energy service provider. I think this group of world-class companies speaks volumes for the quality of our project, our site. It is by far the best lineup of customers of any of the proposed or currently under construction export facilities in the U.S.
The Freeport LNG liquefaction and export facility will result in estimated total economic benefits to the American economy of between $4.3 and $6.2 billion per year, and is expected to indirectly create thousands of permanent jobs across the U.S., supporting the exploration and production of natural gas. Locally, the facility will require over $10 billion of direct investment, and over its approximately 4 to 5 year construction period will create more than 3,500 on-site engineering and construction jobs and hundreds of off-site support jobs. The ongoing management and operation of the completed liquefaction facility will create at least 160 new permanent positions. Internationally, the Freeport LNG project will increase exports and promote U.S. overseas trade ties. Assuming an average LNG value of $7 per MMBTU, it has the potential to improve the United States balance of payments by approximately $4.6 billion per year, almost 1% of the U.S. annual trade deficit. The increased worldwide availability of natural gas, enabled by facilities like Freeport LNG, also addresses growing concerns about greenhouse gas emissions. Natural gas produces roughly 50% less carbon dioxide than coal. Nations without sufficient indigenous gas supplies importing LNG for power generation will be able to displace less environmentally friendly fuels. These environmental inroads will only extend an already strong commitment by Freeport LNG to environmental stewardship. The company has been recognized for its environmental efforts and community involvement by Keep Texas Beautiful. The organization gave Freeport LNG the Ebby Halliday and Maurice Akers Business Industry Award for promoting and applying sound environmental principles.
In order to reduce the amount of emissions that we're going to have, we've elected to go with motor drive compression. Although gas is the most environmentally friendly fossil fuel, we've still decided we don't want to burn gas to provide power for the plant, as most liquefaction facilities do. We want to continue to be good stewards of the environment and good corporate neighbors to the communities of Quintana, Freeport, and all Brazoria County. While we are executing the liquefaction project, I know that we will continue to focus on safety. We want everyone to go home safely every day.
We're very proud of the fact that we have not had a recordable injury at the facility for over 5 years, and that is not by luck. We work very, very hard to emphasize safety and safety training and the work ethic of our people in Freeport. We have a philosophy that creates a true entrepreneurial Freeport spirit.
As nations increasingly search for clean and reliable alternatives to oil and coal and move to mitigate carbon emissions, demand for LNG will continue to grow. The U.S. has an opportunity to greatly expand its participation in the global natural gas market. With over a century's worth of gas reserves, this country is well positioned to meet this growing demand.
It's really amazing when you consider that 10 years ago Freeport LNG didn't even exist. And then in 2008, after spending about $1 billion, we started up a regas terminal. And to now consider 4 years after that, Freeport LNG is embarking on a multi-billion-dollar project from a company that has about 100 employees is an exciting opportunity for all of us.
Well, this project is a huge project, not just in terms of its capital costs, but what it means to the national economy, the local economy, and to the energy markets as a whole. This project is only the second one to be built in the lower 48, so we're essentially like pioneers, allowing our country the opportunity to export to our allies and at the same time be able to have enough natural gas demand so that we can truly become energy independent.
It really is the realization of the American dream.